Join us, MrTruck.com, for truck reviews, trailer reviews, and accessory reviews. Here we are with the new review. It's Mr. Truck and Chuck. It's my cousin. We were up here in the mountains. We actually stopped at the Lincoln Memorial to check out old Abe. But this is just too cool. We've got the truck is a 2021 Ford Tremor F250 off-road heavy duty super duty, and we're pulling 12,500 in our dump trailer. We got another flat tire. We got to fix that. But this is 430 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, it's in the fours. 430, 430, 475. And it's a crew cab, and it's got, you know, the 2-inch lift. It's got 35-inch tires. It's really a cool truck. It's made for off-roading, but we're too tired to go off-road this weekend, maybe next weekend. But anyway, we're towing this trailer up here, checking out the hills between Cheyenne and Laramie, and then down south, back toward Fort Collins. See how it goes up and down the hills with the grade shifting on that 10-speed. So come join us for the review. Oh, wait, the winch. Well, let me show you the winch. It's so cool. They got a big Warren winch on the front of this. I own like 4 winches. I got them on ATVs, side-by-sides, the Jeep, everything. You can't live without a winch. You always end up getting in trouble, and you need one. And Ford has this, so they're getting closer and closer to that Power Wagon from Dodge. Because this is the lifted truck. It's got a locker in the rear. It's got a limited slip front axle, and now it's got a winch. So let's look at the winch. Cool. We got a rope winch. It looks like it's on there tight. Let's see. Now I'll show all this stuff. Now we'll plug this puppy in. And now I want it to spool out. Oh, look at that, it works. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. Make sure I get enough rope. And then, let's see. Oh, wow. It works. I suppose this is 50 feet. I don't know. If I can roll this up tight, I guess I'm to the end of my rope. I'm at the end of my rope. I notice on some of these, the remote takes a while to shut off. But it's got a control here too. Zoom in on this, Chuck. Okay. This is for, you know, to turn it off and on, so you can freewheel with it, or you can power it out. Yeah, that's how they work. Nice winch, this Ford. You're always supposed to roll them in there straight with rollers, but nylon's different. So anyway, I'm not going to go any closer than that. And then on there, winch job. There you go, it's tight, we're done.
Don't go away, MrTruck.tv. We'll be right back.
Well, there's my trailer. We got our rock in. And up here in front of my iron bolt trailer is my Gen Y hitch. Of course, it's an adjustable. This one's a mega duty 6-inch drop. It's a 2.5-inch shank for 21,000 pound capacity. And you can see how it's adjustable. Very good hitch. We're going to dump this rock that I've got from Commerce City, and I want you to see, watch me dump it. See how, if we can get, we're trying to get real level, like, you know, roll a rock out. It may happen sometime, maybe this time. Looky, there's my Harbor Freight compressor. It only costs like 40-50 bucks. It goes up to 100 pounds. And I'm filling up my trailer tire. I got a new tire on there. They didn't get it up as high as I wanted. It needs to be, 80 pounds. Okay? I had it at 60, so I had to air it up. So that's my backup. I usually use my Tucson tire pressure monitoring system, but this time I threw this in here. I use this for my Jeep because I don't have a 12 volt on it. And I just hook it to the battery here on my dump trailer, and then I've got a 12 volt cord. Works really well because the cord, it's not gonna go far enough to reach the truck unless I really jackknife it. So how much are we at, cousin? Wait a minute, where is it? I'm trying to find it.
Like a little over 75, 77, 78.
Really? You didn't go to 80? Wow, 75. Well, plug it back on. We gotta go to 80. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
That's my cousin Chuck. This is Mr. Truck and Chuck Productions reviewing this here Tremor. Isn't that cool? Big, giant Tremor. It's 100 feet tall. No, it's not. It's 2-inch lift, but it's a long ways up. I have to use a step plus that. And if they didn't use this running board from a Raptor and had that fold-out one, the power one, I have no problem at all, but I'm old. So it happens. So if you take your grandfather off-roading, make sure you bring a ladder. That's all I can say. Love these tires. So aggressive. 35-inch tires. This whole thing is tall. Nice looking wheels. Well, we're flying down I-80 in Wyoming. We decided to take Wyoming for a spell. We've done Colorado mountains. Now we're up here heading toward Laramie. We got some nice hills over there. But we've got this 2021 Tremor Ford F250 off-road, heavy-duty, super duty, Ford calls them. And we're pulling my 16-foot iron bowl dump trailer, 16 by 8. And we got 2,500 pounds in it. I'm sorry, 12,500 pounds. I was trying to get 14,000 to max in the trailer. For some reason, I wasn't running the loader, so they tried to get as close as I asked them to. But, yes indeed, we're going to go over and try to see Abe Lincoln. He's hanging out here. He's got some kind of memorial thing. I've always wanted to stop there and say hi. But shooting westbound on I-80 in Wild, Wyoming. That's from one of my grandparents homesteaded in Torrington, Wyoming. The other one homesteaded in Colorado. So I got farm blood deep inside me. I'm like the first generation to get off the farm, I guess. But anyway, this thing's cool. This has a 7.3. We'll talk about the power in a little bit. 10-speed automatic. I got it in tow haul mode, and there's a few hills out here. There's one big drop off into Laramie, and kind of a hard one to climb out of too in snowstorms. But we're gonna see how well it tows, how often it shifts. I'm in 7th gear now, about 3,100 RPMs. And now we're 4,600 RPM. And I'm only averaging 8.8 on these tough hills. I actually was getting, I think, let me look at my notes right quick. I was getting 15 to 16 without a trailer. So far with a trailer, I've been averaging 10 to 11. But a real steep thing, you're going to lose a bunch like we are now. We're dropping down under 9. According to the computer. But this is the, which package is it? The Lariat, what is this thing called? What's the second one? Lariat. No, it's not a Laramie. Even though we're heading toward Laramie, it's a Lariat. One up from the XLT. And hopefully that camera's picking up these beautiful rocks on the side here. We got a few quarries out here. Well, they got a lot of ATV places out here in Wyoming. Oh, and geez, now we dropped down to 2,000 RPM because we're going downhill. See how that works out. And got all the way up to 10th gear. Ford loves overdriving these trucks. It's amazing to me how fast they get in overdrive. Haven't seen antelope yet. There's usually a lot of those running around. We've seen the buffalo at the, what's that called, the Terrier Ranch. But anyway, oh, look, a homestead over there. Looks like a little one-room schoolhouse. Well, we're heading to Laramie, and this has got some pretty downhill. I don't know what percentage it is. I'm not sure I can figure that out, but it's pretty big downhill going to Laramie, Wyoming. Right now we're running about 2,200 RPM. We are at 75 mile an hour, pulling 12,500. And this rascal still just running around 8.3. I'm trying to check out the grade shift. We're in 10th. Like I say, Ford loves overdrive. So we're in 10th gear, the number 3 overdrive. Happy Jack Roads 1 mile, but this is going downhill pretty good. I've got it tow on load. I just want to see if it'll try to grade shift a little on its own. And I'm going to apply the brakes for 2,000 RPM. And you can tell we're dropping. Is that Abe Lincoln there? That's Abe, right ahead of us. I'm going to hit the brakes once and see if it wraps up a little. It wrapped up to 20. Oh, there we go, 3,500 RPM. So that's our grade shifting. And I also shut off my cruise control. This doesn't have adaptive cruise control. Lincoln Monument, okay. So I did grade shift with the brake. We're at 8,740 feet above sea level. 8,640, okay. I don't want to miss my exit. So you can video that now, Chuck. Video Abe and his monument. So we're going to pull over and visit Abe. Fixing a tire on the road. We think it's split the cord or something. There's metal coming out the side of the tire, which means a new tire. You can't fix anything in that. Well, Chuck, I got gloves. Now let me. That's all right. Tire off. Go, go, go. You having problems, Chuck? Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
Stuck on me.
Oh, man.
I stuck.
Oh, be careful. Be careful. Don't drop it on your foot.
I stuck.
Yeah, don't put that one back on. Let's grab a different one.
Oh, you see what also happened?
What?
You must have slammed on the brakes at some point.
Oh, I'm sure I do that all the time.
That tire's got a flat spot.
That's why I buy 12-14 ply. They groove. They regroove them. There you go. Look at that. You're like some kind of genius right there. Don't get your head too close to the truck in case the jack slips.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I just want you to
Now
get checked out, me pushing on the jack. The wind blowing through my hair. My butt crack's in the right direction. Mr. Truck at work. Oh yeah, Chuck's doing something. Oh. The little box with the jack goes in. Oh, there it is. Again, we're almost 4,800 RPM. This is working because the half tons, if you do them just right, they'll work. And the 3/4 tons with the diesels work fantastic. But this is the gas engine, the 7.3. We're running at 4,900 RPM downhill, and I don't even know what the grade is. This hill is probably 6 or 7, but that's pretty interesting. 5,000. Yeah, it's holding us right under 80 miles an hour. It's part of the speed limit in Wyoming is like 80 or 85. Holy cow, that's cool. It is holding my speed at 5,000. It's not had to upshift to save itself. You know, where you go up to a higher gear and a lower RPM, which means you're using more brake, but it's holding right where I asked it to go. So I'm right around 5,000 RPM. That's really good engine braking at 5,000 RPM. And it's right a hair under it. We're going downhill a pretty good clip. This is the hill I like to test on. I've got to find out, okay, what's that say in that sign? That says 5%. Oh man, that's good. If it works on 5%, you know it's going to work on 7%. Wow, I thought it would be steeper than it felt steeper than that. These semis are flying by me faster, so I figured it had to be steeper. Let me see. Right where I'm at is holding like it's supposed to. It's holding at a high RPM. And we are, geez, we're clear down to fifth gear. We're in fifth gear, totally out of the overdrives. Ford doesn't like to do that, but it did it. It's holding really well. Let me see if I can brake and get it. The semi's braking too. And look at that. It did drop the RPMs and shut right back up, and it's holding me at the same RPM, 5,000 RPM. It dropped down about 4,500. So it's working really well. Tow haul mode is working well in the 7.3. With, of course, it's a 430 rear end, which is low. And you know, people say that, well, that's what you need for a 35-inch tire. Well, I understand that, but this is a brand new truck from the factory, so they know that too. They know putting a 35-inch tire is like gearing it, you know, up and not gearing it down as much as you think it would. So wouldn't they go ahead and change the transmission ratios because they know all that, so that, you know, you don't have to go 430 rear end with a 35-inch tire? I'm thinking they do. I'm thinking they know that. So they do their ratios in their transmission according to that, to where you don't have to get that 430 to handle that 35-inch tire. But I don't know. That's something I got to ask an engineer, but I believe that. So that's my theory. Someday I'll find out, and I'll tell you folks about it. That they changed something at the factory with that lower gear or not, according to the size of the tire. This is a tall tire, 35-inch tire. Whoa, that was fun. We're south of Laramie, climbing a big hill into Colorado. And this 7.3 is doing well. We're pulling 12,500 and 4,000 RPM, about 60 miles an hour. Pretty good hill. It doesn't show me elevation. I know we're in some pretty hilly forest here, up north of LaPorte and south of Laramie. Now we're going downhill with tow haul mode on, about 65 miles an hour, 3,300 or 3,400 RPM. There's some nice rolling hills through here. It's a good place to test grade shifting and accelerating with this 10-speed, because that's where these things shine. They like to hold your power going uphill. Always beautiful out here, green grasses. Everybody's happy. Going kind of by the old the Happy Yak Ranch, not too far away. Of course, we're on the edge of Wyoming, so we got wind. Of course, Colorado is becoming part of Wyoming now with the wind. Now we're going to go back uphill with this old 10-speed 7.3 V-8 gas engine roll. I mean, this one, it's rated at 15,000 pounds on a bumper pull. We're pulling 12,500. So we got plenty of room to run. Yes, it's nice looking scenery through here. We only had one flat tire today. Fixed the other one the other day, so I gotta get some 14-ply tires. That'll solve the problem. Both of them were, well, these tires came with the Trader new. They're 10-ply. I'll get 14-ply and I won't have problems anymore. And I forgot to use my Tucson tire pressure monitor on this trip, because that would have told us a lot. We lucked out that that tire went flat while we were sitting there talking to old Abe right outside of Laramie on I-80. Talked a little bit more, but I got to read off my page. Betty knows that the truck will drive itself, so I'll just read it off the page. Oh, doing really well. This 10-speed, we're going downhill now. It's holding me about 4,100 RPM, about 65. I'm in fifth gear. Now think about that, Chevy. You can't say that because you don't tell us what gear you're in. Dodge kind of does if you know how to do it, but I like to know what gear I'm in. So we're bottoming out here and we'll climb to the next hill. This 10-speed's doing really well. It's grade shifting better than I thought I remembered it doing. It's been a while since I drove one of these. And it's climbing the hills, of course, really good. You get all that power. It's a torque monster. So I think it was, what, 475 on torque? It's a torque monster. Yeah, 430 horsepower and 475 on torque. So you got the power, and this will tow, you know, it'll tow, I think it's 15,000 on conventional, and turned in at 17.5 on a gooseneck. That's with the 430 rear end. So it works well. It's handling these curves really well too. These are quite the tires. I wish I had a chance to take this off-road because it's got some aggressive tires. But it's a pretty big truck. And not everybody wants to ride with me off-road for some reason. Betty. But especially with the trailer that we took that Bronco Sport with a single axle trailer, we bounced all over the place, did really well, we didn't tear up anything. But this big a truck, you know, you gotta make sure you see what the ground is like. So you don't start digging in sand, my yard sand. So backing up trailers, I had to put it in four-wheel drive and I had to be careful what I was doing so I didn't get buried. So once you start spinning in sand, you go down. It's not like dirt or rock or anything. But this, my goodness, lockers on the rear end. I didn't have to use those in my yard moving trailers around, but I didn't have to use the limited slip on the front. Played with the cable a little bit, couldn't get the remote to work. I'm sure it's probably something I need to read about, but yeah, with the cable did fine. It's a cool winch. It's a powerful. I think it's a 12,000 pound winch. Winches come in handy. If you don't have them, you don't know what you're missing. And when you lose them or something, you regret them, because I've got winches on everything. My Jeep, my ATVs, my side-by-side. And I'm just tickled to see the Tremor with a winch. It's a Warren, so it's a good winch. Now we're going downhill again. It's a nice little up and down road. Has a few curves in it. A few old churches to look at. A lot of houses way up on the hills through here. Forks, Fuel, and Food. Oh, that place is open. We're going to stop and get coffee sometime. Fort Collins, 21 miles away. Beautiful scenery out here. Everything's green. Trees are bloomed or leafed or whatever you want to call them. And this is how these trucks ride the best. This has, 12,500 load behind us. Rides are great. You drive it empty and you bounce around quite a bit. That's how heavy duties are. Heavy duties bounce. But yep. You hear the V-8? I don't know if I've got enough RPMs. I got 3,500 RPMs. You should be able to hear the rolling thunder. Well, we had quite a fun day. Went to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and across to Laramie, Wyoming, and came back down. We're almost to Fort Collins. But I like this truck. It's got plenty of power. I love that in a gas truck. Because diesel's another story. Well, it's more expensive fuel. Of course, it got you 10,000 more to begin with. Plus, you got more expensive mechanics, and you hope you make 130,000 before you injectors. And I like diesels too. Just you got to use them. They got to make it work for you. But this rascal, the MSRP on this is 67,290 smackaroonies. Yes, sir. Almost up the next level. But it's a Lariat, so it's it's better than XLT. That's what I usually buy, is XL or XLTs. 10-speed automatic. It's a Velocity blue. Of course, you can tell the interior is black leather. I like Velocity blue. I think it's on Raptors and a few other things. It's a gorgeous color. I like blues and browns are my favorite colors, and this is probably one of my favorite blues. My favorite blue. But we already talked about that. We could tow 15,000. I tried to get to 14,000, but we couldn't quite get there. The loader guy didn't quite get enough on there, so we're pulling 12,500. But that's what we're doing. But this truck's got a 2-inch lift, and I know it does, because I think it's a lot for me to get in there. Now, that's fine. It's got a Raptor running board, which is tucked in, made for off-road. If it was one of those power fold-out ones, it'd be much easier for me to get into. But I know they didn't make it for me. They made it for you youngsters to bounce around in and go off-roading. Great tires. I like these. Good grip. If you did gooseneck on this, you go to 15,500, which is cool. Not quite in the diesel territory. Payload's 2,600, which is good. And like we talked about, it's a 2-inch lift. It's got 15 or 35-inch tires, so it's made to go up in the air. You get 10.8 inches of ground clearance. The MPG I've been getting without a trailer is 15 to 16. That's the range. Pulling at 12,500, it's like 10 to 11. It has dipped a little lower than that, but that's kind of where it would stay. 34-gallon fuel tank. Ah, wow, look at that. At least they got rated on one side. The frontal crash is a 5-star on both people. That's cool. I like that. And this has got the 6'8" 8 bed, so it's about the shortest bed you get on a Super Duty. And let's see what's some of the cool stuff. This is a look at the Lariat package, so you know you got all that stuff. But this has got that 7.3, whatever the DEVCT NA PFI V8 engine, whatever the hell that means. But anyway, that package costs $2,045 to get that engine, which comes with a 10-speed automatic. Of course, how could they charge you for it? There's no other option. All you get is a 10-speed automatic. It's got a 430 electric locking axle. It's no charge. 12,000-pound winch is $3,000. $3,000. Okay, so that's what it is. The off-road package, the Tremor package, is $3,975, and that gives you those off-road tires that are 285, 75R, 18, 10-ply, all-terrains. Yes, indeed. It's got skid plates. I hear noise behind me. Is there somebody brushing their teeth, or what is going on back there? Okay, 10,000-pound GVW package. Just has the low gloss, black painted aluminum 18-inch wheels, besides the skid plates and a jack. I don't know why they listed jack on here, but they do. It's got a 397 amp alternator. That's 115. The tough bed spread in bed liner is $695. That's pretty normal. That's what it would cost if you went somewhere. Dual batteries. I don't know why. It's a gas truck. Why do they need dual batteries? It's not high compression diesel. I mean, if this was an ambulance package, I understand it. I really don't understand dual alternators in this truck. But anyway, that's how they ordered it. It's got the leather 40 seat, and that's free. But it also has a Lariat Ultimate package of $3,495. That gives you the navigation, the box lighting in the bed, remote start, tailgate step, driver's side memory seat, heated vented front seats. So that's what it costs to get that loaded Lariat thing, which is the Lariat Ultimate package. But there you go. You end up at $67,290. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. It's a good truck. You know, I would have to get a power running step, or like we're doing now, bring the steps out each time and somebody has to throw them back in the bed of the truck. So come back, because we're not done. We're not done yet. We got all this rock to unload. So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll back into my trailer hill where I park all the trailers and dump another load of this crushed rock. And it's pretty good stuff. This is 1 inch by 3/4. It really works well. Keeps us out from sinking in the sand. And it doesn't disappear like that used asphalt did. We used to use asphalt, and it only lasted about a year, then you couldn't find it. So you had to go put some more on. So, next, watch us dump this trailer. Look at that beauty. 2021 Ford Tremor. Yes, beautiful color. Yes, the interior of the new 2021 Tremor 250. Pretty cool. Now this is a tall truck. I mean, tall truck. Look at that. We got cup holders for 4 right there. Wow. I'm sure this thing is gigantic. Ooh, there's all my winch toys, so I can run that winch out. Cool. Oh, brake controller's in a great spot. 4-wheel drive system's right there. Yeah. Place to charge your phone and all the USB cord plug-ins. But yeah. Oh, geez, this is tall. Tall enough to fall out of this truck. There's your light switches. Yeah. And that running board. It's made for off-road because this is like an off-road truck. That's what it is. With trailer mirrors. Yeah, that running board, it's tall, but it also serves a purpose. I like these tires. These are Wranglers Duratrack. They've got a lot of tread on them. Definitely all-terrain. I'm sure they're a large size, looks like. They are an LT 285 75R18. That's pretty tall. That might be at least 33 inches. I'll have to measure it. But yeah, that's that new grill for this year. Just a little bit different. Tremor! Tremor! And I like the wheels. They're impressive. And this is at least a 2-inch lift. I'm trying to remember. Big old class 5 receiver. I got to use my special Gen Y made for 2.5 inch. There's a bunch of buttons. One of these should open it. Look at that. And it's dampened. It's got a bed liner on it. It's got all these cool tow hooks, adjustable hooks. Yeah. Well, you got, a lot of room back here for 3 adults. Folding armrest in the middle, of course, all shoulder belts. Center there, you got your air conditioning. Your charging units. I hope that this is, yep, it is. You got 12 volt. I like 12 volt. Of course, this does 400 watts on 110 volt. If you want to do some charging of your laptop, a few other things. There's so much room in this cab. Same cab that's on the 150. It grew. Yeah, now 4 cup holders, or you can slide it over and have a tray. Throw your keys and stuff. I wonder if my camera would fit.